wheelchairs and walkers and crutches, but we're still alive and getting around, and we all make appearances and speak to people because we want to make sure that we get the word out to enough people before we pass to make sure nobody changes the history of what happened in Little Rock. Picture of the school. This pond was there in '57. It was drained and cement poured all in there to make it smooth and level because the white students were threatening to drown the black students, or take us out and drown us in the pond. So they just sealed it, took that temptation away. 20 years later, the school decided to haul up the cement and put the water back in there and make it back into a fish pond again like originally. So if you go there today, you'll see that fish pond. Sometimes people ask me, how did you feel? What happened on my first day of school? And I always say that actually I had 3 first days. The first day of school in September, we attempted to go in and we were turned back by the Arkansas National Guard. We couldn't even step upon the curb to the principals of there. We were just kept away. The second day of school, 2 weeks later, we went in with police escort. The National Guard had been ordered to leave. The police was to provide security and maintain the mob outside. So we went into class, and at the end of my second class, the person came to the door and gave the teacher a note. The teacher turned around and told me, Jefferson, come here. And I went up there and she gave me the note, said, you have to go to the principal's office. Now, I was always used to, if you did something wrong or bad, you got someone to the principal's office. So I was going down, I said, well, I didn't do anything wrong. So the only reason I'm going to the principal's office is somebody told a lie on me. I wondered what could they have misunderstood or just fabricated a lie, to get me called to the principal's office. When I got there, it was something totally different. The principal said they were going to have to take us out of the school, that the Little Rock City Police could no longer contain the mob of people outside. And the door was open, we were coming in, I think I was the second one to get there. Ernest Green was there sitting on the bench when I got there, and I sat beside him, and there was a few conversations going on in the hallway, and the chief of police was standing just outside the principal's door. And this other gentleman came up to him and said that he was representing the mob outside, and they wanted to give the police, a chance to get this straight before they marched in and took over. And he thought that a good gesture would be that the chief of police let the mob have 1 black student to lynch. And he said that would be a win-win situation. I can take this black student out to the mob and they'll know that we mean business, we're doing something. And meanwhile, you can sneak the other 8 students out. Win-win. I get recognition from my group knowing that I got the 1 out there, and you can take credit for saving 8. So about then, the chief of police said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Which black student do we lynch? And then the door closed. I couldn't hear the conversation any longer. They came in, got us up, and started taking us out. And I'm thinking that somebody, was sacrificed here. And I was trying to think of who. I went down. There were 3 of us, the fellas there, and we were all there. I just thought it would have been one of the fellas when we were all 3 present. I said, why would somebody want to lynch a girl? In 1957, you didn't do stuff like that to females. You protected them, you honored them, you know, chivalry was still alive then. You kind of looked after the ladies, not that they were vulnerable and couldn't, you know, take care of themselves, but that's the way we were raised. You take care of the females. And so I couldn't decide why they would want to do this to one of the ladies. We got in the station wagon, they had us lay down on the floor, and we were teenagers and small, so in the back and one in the front seat, they put blankets over us and said, whatever you hear, you know, don't move, don't say anything. And they opened the door to the billet room and drove us out, and another station wagon came behind. And I was still trying to figure out who was left behind. I said, well, 8 of us here, and there's 8 in another station wagon, somebody was left behind. When we got to Mrs. Bates and the doors opened up to the station wagon, and the 4 of us got out, I turned around and looked to see who was missing. And the other 5 got out from the other station wagon. And then I realized how, you know, I was thinking because there were 4 in my car, there were only 4 in the other one, but there were 5 in the other one, so that meant all 9 of us made it out safely. And what the chief was doing while he was trying to decide who to lynch with the mob leader, he was actually taking all of us out, and it was just a tactic to stall, trying to pick somebody, and he actually got us all out. That was my second day at Central.